Chapter 81 Give Up? Pain. Kaizhou was holding his head, trembling all over. Lin Tian stood beside Kaizhou, looking at him with a troubled expression. Although she had witnessed the scene more than once, Xia's behavior was always unsettling. Kaizhou had been kneeling on the ground, wailing. The intense pain in his mind had far surpassed the knife wound on his shoulder. After seeing this scene, Zhang Yuozhu tucked a strand of hair behind her ear and said, "Your team leader looks really strange. Is he always like this? It seems that every time someone dies, he gets a headache. Then why doesn't it hurt when he kills someone?" Zhang Yuozhu asked. Well, Lin Tian had no idea about the cause of Xia's headaches, but according to her memory, Kaizhou indeed got headaches only after someone died. He looks like he's been hypnotized. Zhang Yuozhu continued. Every time he's about to feel sad, his brain numbs that feeling with pain. Hearing these words, Lin Tian's eyes widened as if she had suddenly seen the light. Hypnotized. Oh, do you understand hypnosis? Zhang Yuozhu turned her head and looked at Lin Tian in front of her. Lin Tian didn't answer, but fell into deep thought instead. That makes sense. If it's hypnosis, it might indeed cause this effect. But that would not only require extremely superb hypnosis skills, but also Xia's full cooperation. No one in the country should be able to do this level of hypnosis. After saying that, Lin Tian felt even more puzzled. If no one in the country could do it, it was even less likely for hypnotists abroad. Hypnosis is different from other psychological counseling methods. If the language used by the other party is not one's native language, it's very difficult for a person to let down their psychological guard, let alone make the brain enter an unconscious state. So, are you a psychiatrist? Zhang Yuozhu asked. I'm a psychological counselor. Lin Tian replied. Zhang Yuozhu, do you understand hypnosis well? No. Zhang Yuozhu shook her head. But I've been hypnotized before. At that time, the hypnotist gave me a similar example, saying that under certain conditions, humans can seal their emotions through hypnosis. I think Kaizhou is very much like this case. Yes, this technique can only exist in theory. Almost no one can do it in reality. As the two were talking, the sound of heavy footsteps came, and Digu finally showed up. Ouch, it's in such a mess. He looked at the already dead body, golden retriever, and old Lu on the ground, with a somewhat troubled expression. You contestants really fight without any restraint. As soon as he finished speaking, he walked up to the dying Amu, raised his right foot, and smashed the other's head to pieces. The bright red brain matter, along with the emerald green hair, splattered on the ground like fireworks in an instant. Zhang Xihan and Lin Tian bare faces away. Although they had witnessed scenes of death many times, they still couldn't bear to see human lives being slaughtered like livestock. I think it's time for me to go. Seeing Daegu walking slowly towards her, Zhang Yuozhu smiled at the two of them. If there's nothing else, I'll log off first. I'll contact you when I have time. Seeing that the other party was so sensible about sending herself to death, Daegu seemed to understand something. He stopped talking nonsense and reached out to grab Zhang Yuozhu's neck. Wei Tizhao slowly stood up, and from his expression, it seemed that his headache had gone. What are you doing? Daegu turned his head to look at him. We'll accept this traitor. Tizhao covered his shoulder and said, From now on, she's a member of our team. You can't kill her. Everyone present was stunned when they heard this. Even Zhang Yuozhu herself was taken aback for a moment. What are you doing? I haven't helped you at all from start to finish. That doesn't matter. Anyway, it doesn't violate the rules. Tizhao looked at Daegu, asking seriously. Daegu thought for a while and said, That's true. As long as you abandon the traitor of your own team, you can accept a new traitor. After saying that, he slowly withdrew his hand and took out a very dirty cloth bag from his bosom. Here are 20 dao, along with all the corpses on the ground. They are all your prizes now. Daegu waved his hand, threw the dao on the ground, and then turned around and left. Corpses are also considered prizes. TXIA's eyes gradually dimmed. I'm starting to hate this damn place. That's because you don't know their value. Zhang Yuozu said to Qishou, corpses are good things. Many survivors live by eating corpses. Eating corpses? Lin Tian was stunned. Really? Why? In this place? Besides corpses, can you find anything else to eat? Before Lin Tian could answer, Lawyer Zhang, who was not far away, Article 302 of the Criminal Law, the crime of insulting corpses. Whoever steals, insults, intentionally destroys corpses, or ashes shall be sentenced to fixed-term imprisonment of not more than 3 years, criminal detention, or public surveillance. Are you okay? Zhang Yuozu looked at Lawyer Zhang in confusion. Does the law still apply in this place? Lawyer Zhang was a bit dazed. She looked down at her blood-stained hands and continued. Article 222 of the Criminal Law. Whoever intentionally kills another person shall be sentenced to death, life imprisonment, or fixed-term imprisonment of not less than 10 years. Zhang Yuozu and Lin Kai looked at each other and shook their heads. You were just defending yourself, Tijia said. I saw with my own eyes that the man ran into the glass by himself. It has nothing to do with you. Only then did Zhang Xihan's come to her senses. She walked up to Qishou with a worried look on her face and looked at his wound. This wound reminded her of Han Wai Aimo. Han Wai Aimo died soon after being wounded on the left shoulder. Would it be Qi Xia's turn this time? Everyone. These 20 Dao, and those on the corpses. You divide them up. Qishou pushed the cloth back forward. We divide them. What about you? Lawyer Zhang asked. I can't stop the bleeding from my wound. Qishou silently lowered his head. Even if I bandage the wound well, I won't be able to move around in the next few days because of the knife wound. I've lost this game. What are you talking about? Lin Kai immediately became a bit flustered. If you give up now, what was all the effort before for? Yes, it's not time to give up yet. Should we go back and find Zhang Xiao? Lawyer Zhang also said with a choked voice. It's useless. Tijia shook his head. Even if Drive Xiao is really willing to help me, at most he can only bandage my wound. He can't make my injury lighter in the next few days. Kaishou gritted his teeth and stood up, looking at the two of them with a very dejected expression. I didn't want to give up originally. My wife has been waiting for me at home all the time. I can't do it anymore. The rest is up to you. Tijia thought for a while and then said, if you don't want to participate in the game anymore, I won't have any objections. After all, everyone's life is their own. Zhang Yuozu folded her arms across her chest and said casually, Tijia, are you putting on an act for me?